Bandel Church is one of the oldest churches to be built in Bengal. It also stands as the testament of the Portuguese settlement along the banks of the Hooghly River. The name Bandel is derived from a Portuguese name as well, meaning mast. The Portuguese were the first to arrive in Bengal on 1535. They began their trade in Saptagram on the banks of river Saraswati and later were allowed to establish a settlement in 1575 at Hooghly by the permission of Akbar, the Emperor of India. As we have observed that the Portuguese travelers explored other countries, the priests of the Catholic Church came to India and began to preach Christianity after getting permission from the Emperor. This led to the increase in the followers of Christianity, which further led to the construction of this church in Bandel in 1599. The church was named as Church of the Holy Rosary. Bandel Church was declared as Basilica by Pope II in 1988. Things were pleasant and people were living happily back then. Later in the 16th century, Portuguese Aragonese piracy increased against the Mughals. The Portuguese, under the leadership of Sebastian Gonçalves Tibau, one of the foremost pirates of Bengal, who raided vast territories. This led to a collective hatred towards the Portuguese, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan became enraged over this money plunder. He attacked the Hooghly port by sending an army under the command of Qasim Khan. Father Diego tried to carry the statue of Mother Mary but could not succeed, and the statue sank in the river Ganges. There were 5 priests, out of which 4 were killed. The church was also burnt and destroyed in the attack. The 5th priest, Joan de Cruz, was captured and taken as a prisoner along with his followers. The death sentence was given to them as punishment, in which they have to be trampled below the feet of the elephants. But one elephant raised the priest and put him on his back, which amazed the emperor. Realizing the potential of God, he freed the priests and the prisoners and sent them back to Hooghly. He also gave 311 acres of land to rebuild the church once again, and it was built in 1660. Father Diego had died by the enemy's arrow. However, later he came into the dream of Father Joan de Cruz, saying that Mother Mary, Lady of Happy Voyage, is arriving, but he did not pay much attention to it. The next day he found the statue on the bank of the river Ganga. The fisherman brought it back, and the celebration was doubled when a big ship captain stopped by the Hooghly port and entered the premises of the church. The captain of the ship narrated that they had encountered a fierce storm at the Bay of Bengal a few days ago. Such was the storm that the chances of shipwreck were high. The captain had prayed to God that if they survived, then he would donate the main mast of the ship to the first church they would sight on their way. The captain donated the mast of the ship to the Bandel Church, and thus the Bandel Church, to this day, the mast stands at the safer part of the church for the worshippers and visitors to enjoy and survive. Interiors of the church. I myself have never seen a church as beautiful as this. This church has been built in Doric style and is dedicated to Nostra Signora di Rosario. The church has beautiful paintings inside it, depicting the tale from the life of Jesus. The church comprises a number of tombstones, 3 altars, a shrine to Mary, and an organ, constructed in the unique architectural style of the Portuguese. If you like this video, then please do not forget to like it, subscribe it, and of course comment on it. And let me know if there is more to it. Thank you so much. See you next time.